Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Oakspire Heights colony. And last time, we got our vertical farms set up. We still have a whole nother vertical section that we can set up over here, and we'll work on that some today. I'd also like to work a little bit more on my industrial section down here. It seems to be going all right, but we could definitely expand it out. And then finally, I want to do some work up here. For instance, I would like to rethink what we're doing with the pier here. We might come back and redo it, but let's start off down below here. And we're going to work some on this area, getting it set up just to see what else we can put in these vertical farm type areas. I'm going to take out both of those since originally we had moved those down here, so that should give us a couple of extra beavers. Let's go ahead and say demolish this. That way we can come back through and we can start on building up the walls that should support everything in here. And we'll move stuff around as we need it. It's not that big a deal. We just toss in something like this. There we go. We'll take those out. We'll take those out. And then, you know what? We're just going to do a solid wall along here. They should be able to build up most of the way. And then we can build out from there. Let's do that. And then we're going to go 3 here. 3 here. There we go. And that should cover most of that. Now let's come along, and we could go 6 across, but you know what? We're just going to lock in pretty much everything here. There we go. And we'll come across here. We'll just make one really big wall here. There we go. And that should give us enough support for the next layer. There we go. All there. That can all go out. We'll put in a whole bunch here to support some stuff. There we go. And then we can go out 3. Oops, not there. 3. There we go. We'll have to figure out a way to get a couple in there, but that's okay. Let's turn these back around. And we come in and connect these in here. That should be fine. There we go. All of this can be covered up. We'll just make one big wall. It'll be an almost indoor entertainment area, I guess you could say. Let's do that, and then we'll go this way with them. Make sure we're connecting them in here and in here. There we go. And probably in here. Oh, there's a season change. Got another bad tide on us. That's okay. We'll go ahead and get all of this in here. That should do. Those two. And then I've got one block that just does not want to cooperate here. We might have to remove some stuff. Let's see. Can we... If I were to say... What about right here? Let's just build a tower up there, and then I can put one in there. There we go. We'll let them build however they can build there. It'll take them a little bit to do that. They've got the 3D printer in those, so it shouldn't take too much of my interference to take care of that. Next, I want to come over here, and we're going to go ahead and, I want to turn on all of these so that we can start actually making whatever we have the food to make. And then 2, I'm going to extend out this platform just a bit. So let's take and grab maybe some 3s here. That should be fine. We'll put you here. We'll put 1 here just in case we need it. And then let's go platforms. And we'll go... I think we're going to need the regular platforms, because if I remember right, we go 4 and 3. There we go. Now we can come back through and get the long 13s in here. Yeah, that should do just fine. Now the question is, what do we want to put up here? One, I want to come from here, and we're going to take that out. And we'll put in the 2-ways. There we go. Get the little hat for the 2-way. And connect all those in. There we go. That probably didn't need to be on top of there. There we go. We're good there. We have got a couple of different, looks like a couple more bots in here. So let's switch these guys out for bots since the injury is high in there and we need dirt anyway. There we go. And now, oh, hello. Where did that go? That's all right. Now let's get some of the food processing stuff that we need in up here. If I turn this around here, I should be able to, yeah, there we go. And turn you around here. That takes care of those. And then if we do a coffee thing here, there we go. Coffee there. Actually, I might want power to the other side. I don't know what for yet, but we'll figure that out as it goes. Then we need bakeries. Do I need an extra coffee thing? I do feel like I need 2 coffee things. There we go. And then we'll do bakeries, which don't require power, but that's okay. We can still send power through them should we need something over here with power. Let's go ahead, get that in there. We'll get those in there. That, oops, that's going to need a power. 1 power shaft right there, right along the edge. Oh, same thing there. Maybe. There we go. All right, and now we just have a little area here that we need to figure out how to extend on. So if we are to, let's grab maybe the 3 here, and if I put that here at the end, like so, can we do the same thing? Probably not exactly, but maybe close. Let's do that, and then we do, how far across is that? That's close, but not quite there. Actually, that's one too far away, so let's do, grab a platform, make sure I'm always picking the right one. I got that, and then I just need to figure out how to get the platforms across there. Let's grab metal overhangs. If I do that, nope, that's too far. That should be fine. Can I lift that one up? Maybe another one? Platforms. Do I need just maybe 1 more height there? Because we're still going to need at least 2. So I go those overhangs. Nope. I want to do those platforms. Nope. Maybe it's this one. There it is. Let's do this one. That's in there. We'll do the platforms here. That connects in there. And then we can extend out just a little bit more. I'm only going to do about 6 here, I think. There we go. That should be fine. That'll let us get in some more stuff. They've already got the bakeries in and a couple of other things. This one, let's start you with wheat. We'll get the wheat here. We'll do cattail and cattail. I'm kind of guessing we won't need 2 cattails, but that's okay. Ask for what to break, what to bake. There we go. Cattail crackers, maple pastries, and you can do the pies. Let's get our power down at the end. Because like I said, oh, I already have it. That doesn't need power, but it could use it. And then I want to end up with, where's my number crunchers here? There's 1, there's 2. And we'll let them build on that for a while. I'm really low on gears, so let's change out some factories here. Let's start with that. We'll go wood, we'll go gears. change these around. Should be fine. We might even make a second level of those at some point, just to see if we need that much more. We're going to do some work up top here today, too, because I think we haven't been up here in a couple of episodes, and it's good to get back to it. First thing I want to do is I need a bit more storage up here for some of the other things that we're going to need. I need gear storage, and then we'll look into getting maybe some of the other foods up here as well. There we go. We'll just come around here, connect in. I don't know, you won't connect in there because that's the other way, but that's fine. And we'll start this one with gears so that we're getting gears brought in. There we go. Then they can build this, then they can build the other stuff. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start taking out the pier here. Although that was weird. It only let me take out like one. All right, let's take out all of those. That's a lot of planks. We're not going to need planks for just a bit, it looks like, after this. Take out all of those. All of this. That. Clear out all of this here. We're just kind of destroying everything today. That's all right. Let's get those out of there. That one can go. Clear out these. Clear out all of that. Well, clear out at least that level, I guess. So those, and this one here can go. That can go. Yep. And yep. And yep. And only one there. I don't know why. Those can all go. That can go. And then I've got a whole nother level down here. Good grief. Alright, all those can go. All of this can go. Holy cow. Just destruction unparalleled here. There we go. All of that is out. We don't need any of those. Now we've got a ton of resources to gather again. Let's... Oh, there's a couple more I missed as well. Let's get those while I'm here. Yep. Yep. All right. Let's grab some stairs, and we'll put in some stairs in various places. Oops, the water came back. There we go. Now we finish taking this out. And there you go. Let's go there and there. And then we'll come over here. Have them grab some stuff from here. There we go. Hopefully they can get to most of that. We'll go over here. Maybe this. That there. And then if there's anything left, we'll take a look after this. But I do want to explode the lake down a little bit so that we can get more in there. We're going to have to grab the dynamite. And we're going to put... I have the large explosive dynamite mod turned on, and it turns your 3 size into very large. So I'm going to change that real quick. We're going to make you just 3. There we go. Copy to others. We're going to go there. Make sure that's copied. Okay, they're all 3 now. Now I can just grab the 2s. That can all go out. And then we'll do 1s here. With whatever they can get. We'll make sure there's a path to get to most of this. That should be good enough. Hopefully they can get to some of those as well. We'll come back and look at that. I'd also like to, let's go down to about this height. Maybe this height. And we're going to go grab there's our dynamites. Let's get our tunnel again. And we'll just go back here like so. Like so. Fill all of this area in as best as we can with just basically water tunnels so that the above ground land can have a little bit more moisture here. We might not make the very corner, but that'll be okay. We'll at least have a little bit more land. All of these can go. There we go. We don't really need any of those anymore. We don't need any of these. And we don't need this one here. There we go. That should be okay. We'll let them clean that up. Hopefully... Oh, they've got gears coming in. Let's make sure that they've got other things, other types of food at least. What types of food do they have up here? They have a little bit of everything, but not a lot of anything. So let's do bread. You can do... let's do potatoes. And we'll do kohlrabies, because why not? They should be producing some of their own of those. And we'll let them get to cleaning that up down below and maybe putting in some dynamite. Over here, you know what? We might use this as an extract barrel just for a bit. There we go. Noticed my building has kind of stalled out, and it is because of the gears. So I think we're going to go ahead and make a platform over these and get another level of gears in here. Let's see what we can do to try and work them in here. Maybe get a triple platform. Let's go on top of this. There we go. And then we do... Can we do a double? No. If I do a single... I should be able to do... Actually, no, I don't want a single there. I want this. And that can extend out. Oh, you know what? I actually want that one over. Let's go with the 3 here instead. There we go. The 3 there instead. We'll go with the 4. There you go. Nope, that's not what we want either. Some days, it doesn't pay to plan ahead, I guess. Or maybe it does. I'm not sure. But there we go. That should work. And then we'll get the 13 by 1s to go the other way. There we go. That should take care of a lot of those. And then I have one more space open. But... Can I put you maybe here? Maybe grab a couple more of those. One more of those. Yeah, that should be fine. They're all touching. This needs to go in, but hopefully once that's in, we should be okay. If we need an extra space, we can figure something out for there too. But that should give us connectivity, so we'll have plenty of gears that we're going to need. They've got this level in, so let's go ahead and we'll start a forester up here, because there's a couple of different specialty trees that we're going to need. I want to get it as close to that entrance as I can while still covering everything. Looks like right there. Okay, we'll do that. And we have a decent amount of pine down there for now, so we'll leave that. But we do need a couple of coffee bushes here. We'll grab that. Let's get some coffee in here. We'll do coffee and coffee there. And then we're also going to need the maples. Let's do maples here. However... I need a tapper shack. Where did our... There it is. We can just grab one of those, and we'll put it right next door there. There we go. That should cover everything. And that'll at least get us started on the maple sugar that we're going to need. Or maple syrup, I guess it is. And once that's in, you know what? We'll go ahead and start building in our next layer here just to plan for it. There we go. We'll get all of those in. Something I want to try and do is get down to this level. Now I could come up this way or try wandering around through these weird hills here, and we might yet do that. But I also want to try just dropping down from above. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and take out this row, and we'll use it to make an elevator over here. Let's take out this one right here, and then we'll put a really big dynamite right there. and we'll explode the terrain down, and we'll drop an elevator, and then we'll figure out how to get some of this lake water maybe to drop into a couple of these areas here. Maybe this area, and maybe we'll tunnel a river across to get this one filled back up. I think that might drop down below, but if it does, we'll close that up. Since we've already went ahead and built a roof on our, I guess, relaxation area, I'm going to take and we're going to toss in a couple more items in here, maybe here and there. There we go. We'll just get those in there. That's good. We'll do maybe some back scratchers here along the wall as well, so that they can get all of that in there. I don't think we can get an exercise plaza in there, sadly, but that's okay. Is there anything else that we could do? No, but... oh, well, maybe we could get a frog statue in here too. Yeah, we could do a frog statue. Let's clear these out. Frog statue. We'll get a couple of frog statues in there. Maybe that'll get them feeling a little bit better as well. And then I think we could put maybe... we put a Lido up here. We could do a swimming pool, that's for sure. Let's do one of those here. Yep. Okay, it can be there. Whatever, that's fine. Let's do this one. And we'll figure out maybe a place down here for it. Well, we might actually have to take some land down here. So let's start with that. Just a little bit of dynamite here. That'll do. Once that's in, we'll put one of those Lidos in, and then they'll have a couple places to swim. We got a lot more space in the lake up here, and they're starting to go ahead and remove some of this space, so hopefully that turns a little bit more of this green. It's a bit hard to tell because it's raining, but we've got a bad tide coming up, so hopefully that helps. Once they've dynamited all of that down, we'll put a sluice in there, so hopefully that'll hold in the water in case the lake starts to get a little low. Over here, they've got this dynamite in. There we go. That can go. Let's see, can I put in, we'll find out if that's straight down from there or not. I hope it is. We'll do this, vertical two-way right out the top here. Nope. We're gonna have to figure something out. Okay. Not the end of the world. There we go. If I were to... let's see if they can build maybe a 3 platform there with a 2 on the top of it, so it goes over that tree. And then we take our 2 buoys. Actually, I'm going to need this first because we're going to put it at the bottom. And then we'll get our vertical 2 buoys. And we'll redo this here once we get everything cleaned out. We'll just make one solid elevator, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about where it goes as long as it goes somewhere. There we go. There's that. We'll connect those in, and hopefully they'll be able to make that. It's too far. Of course it is. It's too far. That's not what I wanted to see. Well, alright. Plan C. Since that tree is right in the way, let's see if it'll let me put a large dynamite. Right. You know what? Let's do this first, and that'll give us access to the square next to it. We'll put a large dynamite in. They can blow those up. Oh, they're already here. Good work, guys. There we go. We'll put you right there, and then we'll build directly up from there. Let's do that. We'll do this, and all the way up we go. That can explode. there we go. These can go up. Tiny two-way. There you go. And there you go. And there's that. And there's a nice little elevator for us whenever we get that done. How are they doing on the tunnel in here? Looks like they're doing pretty well with our well-being goals. That's not bad. We've got a decent amount of stuff. Looks like I'm going to need a place for chestnuts. Spatterduck's still a little low. The pastries and coffee are still out because we're still growing those. But that should help there. We've expanded down here. We've got a little bit here. Oh, here we go. Let's go ahead and we'll put in a staircase right there. Let's get in. Not a swimming pool. We want one of these. In fact, can we do two of these? Yeah, we'll do two of them. It'll be just fine. There we go. Can we do some decoration by them, maybe? Put maybe one of those here, one of those here. I get one of those. Beaver statue there. Yep. Just a little bit of decoration. Maybe we should do some of those in the park as well. Maybe we could do one here. There, and here. Sure. Do some statues here and there. There we go. Let's do maybe one here. And anything else? Oh, some bulletin boards. Yep, we'll put those in here. Decorate this place up just a little bit so that it looks a little bit nicer. Put you there. How about another statue over here in the corner? And we'll even put a bust right there. And maybe a scarecrow back here, just to keep the crows out of the place. There we go. A little bit more well-being. Well, we started off just building some various different additions to things, like our next level of this. We seem to have raised the well-being quite a bit, and hopefully, once we get all of this in, we can work on what we want to do with this lake here. So, I think that's going to do it for this time, but as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time.